Bleach 546. Chapter 546. We start with the chapter where we left off. Kyoraku is still talking to Keigo, Mizuro, and Tatsuki. He's telling him about, you have to say goodbye to Ichigo. And Keigo got all upset, and he actually, grabbed Kyoraku. So I thought, he got a little bit more ballsy, but I think it was just that temporary moment. I don't think he'd ever do it again. They're upset that they have to say goodbye to Ichigo, and they're asking why. He said Ichigo, and Kyoraku's like, Ichigo's just come into a lot of power. He's just gained a lot of power, and depending on how much power that is, he may not be able to return back to this world. Basically, it would the world is not stable enough to handle his power now. Well, not now, but if his power turns out to be as great as they think it is, then he won't be able to return to the human world. So I'd like to just take this moment to say, called it earlier, that he might get locked up in Soul Society. Although I do think I'd try to disprove myself at one point. But still, I at one point or another said that he would get locked up. Probably. So anyway. So basically now what I'm thinking of Ichigo is, God mod Ichigo. It's kind of disappointing to hear that he's gained so much power that he is surpassing Dongai Ichigo, because you remember Ichigo back then was so powerful that you couldn't even feel his spiritual power, because it was just so much that it was just almost like nothing. It's hard to describe, but think of it like you're in the ocean, and the ocean is entirely around you, and every single part of your body is covered in water. And say you grew up there or whatever, I don't know. It's hard to describe, but anyway. But even then, the world was stable enough to handle it. I mean, he wasn't in that form for very, very long, still. And even Final Getsuka Tensho, while he was only in that form for 45 seconds, he became a fifth-dimensional being, surpassing Aizen, who was a fourth-dimensional being. All the while, sure, the world was getting destroyed around them whenever they swung their sword in any which direction, but still. So, I'm hoping that he's not quite that level. I'm hoping that this new power is just under Dongai, at least, because, it kind of gets annoying whenever the character god mods with powers. So, it'd be nice if Ichigo gradually built up to that through severe, hardcore training. I would totally be happy with it. I'd be like, yeah, that works. But I don't want him to be like, oh, now I know what my sword is called. Bam! God mod powers. So, yeah. I'll be a little disappointed if that's how it turns out. Anyway. So, Kyoraku gives them soul tickets, which apparently allow for free access to Soul Society whenever they want, so they can visit him whenever. He has apparently already sent Yuzukari and Isshin some. Although Isshin, who can go into Soul Reaper, should be able to get there no matter what. But, maybe that'll be answered. What else is there? What else is there? Oh yeah, we go back to Hueco Mundo, and it's just Orihime and Chad talking. And Orihime is talking, and she says, and we saved the Arrancar. Now we know that the Sternritter and the Quincy's were getting controlled and taking into their army some of the Arrancars and making them part of their army or whatever. But that means they would have freed Tierra Herabel, and possibly, I'm thinking. But whenever she said that, it kind of just confirmed for me that the Arrancar were coming back. Not all of them. We know that some of them died. Like Ulquiorra is not coming back. He died. That's what Kubo said. So if Kubo pulls a fast one and Ulquiorra is alive, one, I'll be disappointed, but two, it's Kubo's fault, not mine. But yeah, so we should at least be seeing Tierra Herabel and Grimjow. So I was just happy to see that part and, you know, get some confirmation. And then we go to Soul Society. No. Yeah. We go to Soul Society, and then all of a sudden we see around Soul Society is this giant dome, and it's just slowly lifting up. And as it lifts up, Soul Society disappears, and the Van and Red Castle disappears. And whenever I saw this, my theory was, the Van and Red Castle is in the same space, but a different time. So the Quincy have somehow been able to harness the ability to travel time. And they somehow sucked the Shinigami back in, because, you know. But that's the only way I can see it possibly existing in the same place, is it being a space-time thing, you know. It's surprisingly close, like Kubo said. So, but yeah, that's what I think, is that the Quincy's are in a castle that's in the same place, different time, sort of thing. So now they're sort of time travelers. We see Uryu Hoshwald and Juhobak, and, you know, Juhobak's like, he's talking about the story of the Quincy King. He's like, and now I'm going to conquer this world in 9 days. So, pretty confident. But it would be nice if he did conquer and kill a lot of people, and then, you know, they can go save Soul Society afterwards. But yeah, something real quick I want to talk about. Kubo's Bleach is going on a 2-month hiatus. It's really, really confusing, because no matter who I talk to, the translations were just really hard to understand. But Bleach is going on hiatus until September 4th. Bleach will return on September 4th. So a lot of people heard the hiatus part and they thought, oh, it's never coming back. But it is coming back September 4th. Kubo is taking time to work on this fight in this arc. So the way Kubo talked about it, though, which confused me, was it sounds like he's preparing for the final fight. And yet, at the same time, in an interview in Germany, where Kubo was this year, 2013, I do recall him saying that this arc was going to be longer than any previous arc. So, you're confusing me, Kubo. And keep in mind, the Arrancar arc, the Save Orihime from Hoikumundo arc, was about a little over 4 years long. So, we're nowhere near it. This final arc actually only started a year ago, so we'd have at least 4 more years. So I'm really confused about that part. I will keep my eyes and ears open for anything other details. But remember, it is just on a temporary hiatus. Temporary. Also, this is another confusing thing because the translations were rough. It sounds like Kubo is going to be giving us some chapters in the meantime. People are confused as to what it is. It sounds like it could be a turn back to pendulum type arc where we go back maybe 1,000 years to what happened with the Quincy's. Or people think also that it might just be like a review arcs, which wouldn't be very long, but they would just go back and answer maybe some unanswered questions we had, you know, like how did the fight with Kenpachi and Lloyd go, and what did Ichigo do in between the time period of defeating Ginjo and this final arc. Just stuff like that, just answering a few little questions we have. So, but it does sound like we will be getting some chapters in the meantime. Not sure if it's going to be a chapter. If it's a review, I'm not sure if it's going to be a chapter, or if it's just going to be like a little few pages that come out every now and then. So, not sure, but Kubo's preparing for this final arc, final fight, which was in the rough translation, so I'm so confused, but I will make another video going into further detail on this. For now, this is all. I'll do the basic badassness for this chapter. Really nothing happened except for the Quincy were in the same place, so probably about a 3 or 4. Attention level, how much attention was paying? Probably about a 7. Satisfactory, how satisfying was this chapter? Probably about a 6, 6.5. Interest level, how interesting was this chapter? Probably about a 7. Comedy, how comedic was it? 2. Fan service, fanboy, fangirl, any bit of all that. Fan service would probably have to be about a 0. Animation, how well drawn. Kubo did a really good job with the dome and the palace, so I have to say about 7.5. Predictability, how predictable was this chapter? Probably about a 4. And overall chapter rating out of 5 stars would probably have to give it about 3, exactly 3 stars. So yeah. That is all for this video. Be sure to look out for more videos, and be sure to keep an eye out because I, myself, and maybe the Quincy will be going over what exactly is going on with this 2-month hiatus. So yeah, I'm the Shinigami, and I'm signing off. Jana.